Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to PixARK. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. As you can see, my friends, I have been developing the bridge a little bit. It's actually got some structure now. Underneath there is still dirt, but we need to replace that with a decent building material. So, I have made some progress in this game off camera. You'll see I'm level 56 now. That's mostly from wandering around killing stuff because I just love using the ice spear so much. Oh, look at this, by the way. Western wood walls. The drama in the last episode has been resolved. This Theo is having a tough time walking across the bridge. He's decided to hump this post. Get off my bridge. Here is something different. Damage numbers, ladies and gents. Damage numbers. It is possible to enable those manually in the settings file. If you actually open up your settings file, settings.ini, you input like a line of code in there that just turns those on. It isn't part of the settings in the game that you actually have to enable them manually, but damage numbers are a thing now. And by the way, you saw that did about, what was it, 390 damage to that Theo. Let's see if we can find ourselves a Pteranodon that's on the ground, because you want to see how much damage this ice spear does to a Pteranodon. Ready for this? Whopow! 1,950 damage. That is excessive. Also, the number kind of follows you around in this creepy way for a little while. But yeah, that's crazy. And the fact that we've got damage numbers in this game now is, let's face it, a bit of a game changer, because this will allow us to do something that I plan to do for basically the rest of this episode, which is comprehensive, qualitative weapons testing. Now, I want to see how much damage I'm doing with each individual thing, because I haven't really done a whole bunch of this. I kind of just stuck to the ice spear and whatever weapons I had before that, but I think now we've got some actual numbers we can put to it. We can start to determine what the best strategy is for attacking anything. 9 damage. Not the best for the iron axe there. And this is a primitive iron axe that I've made myself. Has regular old weapon damage numbers, but you'll find that some of the weapons that you get in dungeons and ruins and stuff like that, like my Mastercraft bow, which I'm so happy that I found a Mastercraft item after so long at getting Journeyman and Apprentice and stuff. This thing, 162.4 damage. So that's not bad. Let's try with a stone arrow and see how far we get into this Theo right here. 41. Okay, so not the best, but still a fair old whack. Still probably going to take it down with a second arrow, or maybe a third. It's unclear exactly how much HP they have, but if you can see how much damage you're doing in the first place, I'd say they have maybe 100 health. That seems like a nice round number. Also, if we wander up to this mushroom over here, give it a stab with the ice spear, whack, 390. So it's doing about 300 to 400 to the average thing, and an amazingly high number to the Pteranodons. I don't know if the Pteranodons just have ridiculously low defense or something like that, but that is the first time I've seen it do anything that wasn't 1,950, actually. So that's interesting. Maybe I wasn't giving it a full swing. Maybe because I just turned around, it didn't give me the full damage number or something. I took it by surprise. Or maybe because it had just landed. I don't know. There are some interesting factors at play here, but being level 56 now, I have access to a whole bunch more weapons. We could also test out some of the early game stuff like spears, just to see conclusively what the best thing to be using in the early game is. And obviously with like fishing rods and stuff like that, we're not going to be able to whack anything over the head with that. But once you get into metallurgy, obviously you have the option for copper swords, copper spears, which we know aren't going to be as good as the ice spear. I have a couple of crossbows now that I got from some ruins. Obviously the iron sword we made before was our primary weapon before the ice spear, so I reckon we're going to dig up a couple of those, and I've also found myself some very exciting stuff in some ruins. I went over to another ice biome, which happens to have an ice castle in it, and those things are enormous and very, very dangerous. There are some werewolves in there that can basically kill you in 2 or 3 hits, but I managed to kite them through a door, and they couldn't get through the door, so I was just able to whack them from the other side, and one of them was kind enough to furnish me with something that I think is in one of these chests around here somewhere. I forget which one I put it in now. There we go. Look at this. A pump-action shotgun, ladies and gents. So we haven't really gotten much into the industrial side of things, so I haven't really been making guns and stuff. But now I can make myself a firearms work table all the way up to stuff with a fabricator, which is how we're going to be able to make polymer. And polymer is an interesting one because polymer allows you to make iron bone armor. which I think is probably the most advanced armor I can currently make. You'll see down there in the crafting ingredients, it needs 30 polymer to make a shirt. To make pants, you need 20 for a helmet, 20 for the gloves, and 20 for the boots. So we're going to have to make an awful lot of that. But luckily, polymer, it seems like the recipe does not take a whole bunch. You just need to have the work table that you can craft it with. So we're going to be testing out weapons, and we're going to be testing out armor today. Very excited to see how this goes. Now, up here, things have not changed much. I managed to put together a better western wood wall option, but it still kind of glitches through the door frame a little bit there. So I feel kind of bad, and I keep accidentally clicking the door out of existence. So I do need to keep replacing that every now and again. But yes, I was so wrong about western wood walls, you guys. So wrong. So this here is tools and weapons. Can grab our copper spear, our iron sword, maybe the Raptor Claws as well, because I wasn't sure how much damage those were doing in the first place. Let's pull out a crossbow and see if it is any better than the bow. I've got 2 normal crossbows. This one does slightly more damage. Slingshots, we already have one. I've not used it for ages now. I don't think slingshots are really all that worthwhile unless you're knocking out tiny things like compies and stuff like that. I also have a couple of primitive spears in this spear display stand, so let's see how these do against the dodos. Okay, test number 1, spear test. Regular poke, 7 damage. Okay, thrown, 37. Much better. Much, much better. Okay, so throwing spears, definitely more worthwhile, but you've got to craft a whole bunch of them because you need to stick a bunch of them into some of those enemies, and throwing them does mean you leave yourself a little bit defenseless. Copper spear cannot be thrown, but one hit, 120 damage. So spears are looking pretty good right now, especially when you consider that the ice spear is a huge step up from that still. Ice spear, 390, yes. So that is magnitudes above. Oh, that was really sad. Magnitudes above what the copper spear was doing. Now, let's go to the swords for a second. Do I have a copper sword somewhere? I think I probably left it on a sword rack somewhere in the castle. Let's go grab that real quick. And as you can see, the castle is doing pretty well. I've almost finished the rug. I completely solved the fiber problem with this. The sickles will actually gather up a whole bunch. For a start, you can gather a decent amount of thatch with them, but when you get a bush with them, 55 fiber in a single swing. Now, that has completely solved the fiber problem that I was having in a couple of episodes ago, and now the problem again is fur. So I need to hop on one of my pteranodons and go and clean up some coyotes to get a decent amount of fur, but even that is not a huge problem, and to be honest, I still think the recipe needs enough, but it's made constructing this carpet a whole lot easier. Okay, here are our crash test dodos. We have number 1 with the copper sword, 44 damage, which is enough to kill a dodo, but only just. So the iron sword definitely going to be better for anything larger than a dodo, 65 at a time. See, even for iron, for the step up that iron is, especially in terms of the other tools you get, that is still not great. And I think it is largely dependent on what level the thing you're trying to attack is. But compared to our new favorite thing, the ice spear, absolutely no contest. Iron sword, nowhere close. Nowhere close where you need to be. Now, the crossbows are supposed to do a little bit more damage than the regular bow is. And this was patched a little while ago because regular bows were still doing a ton of damage. Now, let's see. There are a couple of dodos here. 964. Okay. Okay, that is pretty comprehensive right there. And 480, still pretty good. Still pretty good. It's still a lot better than the bow when you're just using regular stone arrows. But I wonder if sleepy arrows will make a significant difference to that. So here is the sleepy arrow for comparison. Looking down the sights, 180. Okay, yes. So if you want to kill something with a bow, you definitely want to be using stone arrows. Let's try this again with the bow, 137. That wasn't drawn all the way back, but it is still definitely more powerful when you're using a crossbow. Let's try that one more time with full draw. 205. Okay, so still pretty decent, but crossbow definitely doubles it, if not more. So that's worth having. That crossbow is definitely worth having. Bear in mind as well, normal crossbow, 120% damage. Mastercraft bow, 160% damage. So that's a significant difference right there. I wonder if you can shoot down a pteranodon with this. We lock and load one of the stone arrows. Take aim. 288. It's definitely running. It is not swinging around and having a pop at us, which the pteranodons don't really do, to be honest. But yeah, so crossbow definitely worth having as an offensive weapon, and probably loads a little bit more damage into those sleepy arrows as well. You guys will also notice that Trico is over here. He managed to swim all the way back from that swamp biome without much as a care in the world. He is actually a pretty good swimmer, and he's pooping now. Okay, we'll give him some privacy. Let's leave him alone. Last of all, in the melee category, we have ourselves the Raptor Claw. Not expecting a huge amount from this, but 74 damage per hit. Okay, and that's on a Theo, which is, you know, relatively hardy, I'd say. But you definitely don't want to be taking on anything bigger than that with these, because they are very much an up-close and personal weapon, and they will not cut the mustard. They'll cut a Theo, but the mustard will remain uncut. I suppose one last thing to note about the bow is the weight. The regular bow weighs like 0.5. The crossbow weighs 10, like a full 10. So obviously, like with a higher weight on your character, that's not going to be a problem, but the bow is definitely a solid weapon to go with to start off with, because it's not doing a huge amount less damage. It probably has a slightly better rate of fire than the crossbow, because the crossbow has to be knocked every single time, and bows tend to be a little bit faster than that. So it's a little bit negligible. I think the crossbow is still the better weapon, but there are some other considerations to weigh up there. Now we can get into this stuff, and you'll notice that along with the shotgun, we also have a different range of ammos to use. I found those in a chest in the Ice Palace as well. And we also have a chainsaw in here, which, as far as I know, is not necessarily a particularly effective weapon, and it requires gasoline to operate. So we will get to that at some point. But now this thing, we are loading up a full clip of shotgun ammo, and let's try and take on... Let's go for Apache. We've got a level 1 Apache over here. Probably not going to cause us too much trouble. Bam. Okay, so that is a few shots. It's like a spread. So basically like what you would expect from a shotgun. It's a scatter shot, and it did sort of between 40 and 60 per hit. So not bad, but this thing isn't going to have much stopping power when it comes to something like a trike. With the color of them and everything, they definitely feel like toy guns. They don't make much of a noise either. That's pretty cool though. Okay, so let's try the fire type ammo next. Wait, can we not? May only be used with a shotgun enchanted at a firearm work table. Okay, so we have to specifically have an enchanted shotgun for this. Well, I guess we're crafting ourselves a firearms table then, folks. And for that, it seems like we will need some clay, some wood, and some leather, all of which we have in you know, pretty substantial supply these days. We've got a decent amount of... Do you mind? These freaking trikes, man, they're all over the place. Right, let's grab a little bit of leather out of here. I have so much leather, so I'm quite happy to actually have some use for this stuff now. And if we go into a workbench, we go to structures, we're going to go to crafting, and we have ourselves a firearms work table. Awesome stuff. I guess we're going to pop that down somewhere in here then. That looks like the appropriate way round for it. Very nice. Very nice. Okie doke. So what can we do in here? Oh, now this is a new GUI. All right. Let's see what we can do with this guy. Nice. There's damage, modify, enchant, fire enchantment. So you need magic stones for this, and the Chinese characters pop up. That's kind of hilarious. Right, let's see how many exactly we have of the magic stones, because I have been mining those and occasionally been getting them from drops from enemies as well. We got fire magic stones. Okie doke. Let's see if this will be enough for now. Looks like we've got to move those into the inventory for the table. 41? Is that saying we need 41? I thought it was like 4. No, okay. Okay, we need a whole bunch more of those. Right, so that's going to have to wait, I imagine. Unless we can go down and find some of those now. But okay, well, while we're here, we can at least look into crafting some other of the guns that are available to us. Let's start with a pistol, and obviously some pistol bullets will come in handy. Let's add a scope and a flashlight attachment as well. There's also this light gun, which is obviously more like a flare gun kind of thing. I also really want to get the fabricator on the go now, and look at this, lava boots. I wonder what that is. So yeah, we need to make the fabricator. Rebound damage shield sounds pretty useful as well. And a grappling hook. Apply on the crossbow to grapple onto the environment and other creatures. Oh my days, that's going to be a game changer right there. Let's get some polymer on the go as well. And obviously we have a crafting recipe here for shotgun ammo. Very cool. Okay. Well, one thing at a time. Let's look into this first of all. Let's see what we need to craft a fabricator. Fabricator needs 20 iron ingots and 20 firestone powder. Once again, not a problem. We have plenty of that here. I need 2 more iron ingots from this. And I think that should be everything in there. Yep, good. Okay, and let's grab some firestone powder from out of the fridge. I've got loads of it in here, so not a problem. Right, fabricator time. Man, I'm going to have so many workbenches in here soon. Let's craft up one of those. Superb. And where can we put this one? I'm sort of running out of space here. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it out here, because we've obviously got a fair amount of workspace out here. Let's drop one of these down, let's say there. Okay, that's not a bad place for it for now. We'll get that figured out. We might always have to move it, but this needs bone ash and clay. Right you are. What has it got in the way of armor here? Blueprints for electronics. Interesting. The rebound damage shield is in here. Electronic stuff. And what's this? Okay. Okay, lava pants. It needs armadillo shell. Right. Wear it to resist a certain amount of lava damage. I've not taken lava damage yet in this game. I have steered very much clear of lava because I did not want to lose everything. Weapon-wise, you can craft some ammo here. That's the grappling hook. Okay, right. So evidently this is going to be able to make us a lot of stuff, but we haven't got the engrams to unlock it yet. So in the powders chest over here, I should have a decent amount of bone ash already, but I don't know if it's going to be quite enough to get myself all of the polymer that I need. Got plenty of clay, though. Oh, it needs fuel and requires gasoline to be activated. Right, of course. Okie doke. So we're going to have to make ourselves some gasoline. I only have the 1 barrel of oil in here, so hopefully it can run on gasoline for a little while at least. But man, we are having to move up the tech tree here in order to use this stuff. Let's light the fire, craft me 1 barrel of gasoline, and hopefully that gets us enough to sort out the polymer. Oh, we got 2 of those. Fantastic. Did not realize we were going to get 2 from that deal. Very nice. Now, in the interests of getting as much polymer as I can out of 1 barrel of gasoline, we probably need to turn some of this bone into bone ash. Now, how is that done? Is that over at the pestle and mortar? I'd imagine so. I still have it over here outside the hut, even though I've moved most of my stuff into the castle at this point. But we can come back here and do things the old-fashioned way. There we go. We can turn a bunch of these bones into bone ash. And I've been getting bones from the coyotes in the ruins, along with a couple of other things that I've been checking out around the world, a few other things that I've been taking out here and there, testing the ice spear on, so we've got a decent supply of those. Meanwhile, back at the fabricator, we can make ourselves a ton of polymer now. It only needs 2 clay and 2 bone ash per polymer, and I don't know if we're going to get 1 from that or if we're going to get more than 1. Let's just split off 1 barrel of gasoline. Let's turn it on, and okay, it lasts for 15 minutes. Very good, okay. So we have plenty of time to craft a little bit more of this stuff. And it looks like we're getting 1 polymer per, which is not too bad. Let's make as much of this as we can. Did I just turn it off? Oh, I just turned it off. Okay, so it looks like the other barrel of gasoline is going in. And we are going to have to make as much polymer as we can this way. Note to self, do not use the E command to access the inventory of anything. It will make your day worse. Okay, so from that we have 99 polymer, which is a nice round number to have. But I'm fairly certain it's not going to make me absolutely everything I want to make here. Let's at least start with the iron bone armor, wherever that went. That was in metallurgy, right? 30, 30, 20, 20. Okay, so that's 100 right there. So we won't quite be able to make more than 3 pieces of this. We need to get ourselves some more bones from somewhere. And if we want to do it in this particular round of gasoline, we need to do it a little faster. But yeah, I think we'll probably leave that for now. Let's go to this work table. Let's open up armor. Let's go to iron bone. We also need iron ingots and primal bone pieces. Now, those I think I have in some supply, but I don't think I have quite as much of those either. Let's see, 58. Okay, well, those are pretty easy to come by. All you have to do is fight stuff. And in the process of that, we should be able to get ourselves some more bones, so that will not be too hard of an ask. Let's grab the iron ingots from in here. Let's bring those into the inventory, and let's craft ourselves some iron bone stuff. Excited for this. This is a major step up on the ladder. We've got a ton of armor coming from this, although it doesn't do so well in terms of insulation, so maybe it won't be so great when it comes to getting into the more diverse biomes when it comes to temperature and stuff. But I reckon some iron bone shirt will probably start us off nicely. And then from there, we'll have some iron bone gloves as well. So at least our torso can look the part. Very nice. And this stuff is still pretty lightweight as well. It's kind of like the leather stuff in that respect. It's fairly lightweight. So let's put some of this on. And oh yes, we are looking metal now. This is kind of strange contrast with the candle helmet and everything else, but that is not too bad. My firefly is still nestled in there. Very good, very good. And in terms of armor, that is a massive upgrade. That's 18 armor we have now compared to what we had before, which was 7. Okay, so we've more than doubled the amount of armor we have. I like this. Okay, now all we need to do is grab some more bone pieces and some more bones that we can crush up and turn into polymer. We've got plenty of iron to work with, and we should have ourselves a full set of this in no time. And before we go anywhere, we may as well give it a shot at crafting ourselves a pistol. Now, where would I find the pistol? Firearms. I guess this is in here. The light gun is outside because it's more of a flare thing. Nice. Okay, so we have a regular old primitive pistol. We'll pop that down right there. And we probably need to make some ammo for it as well, but we haven't learned the ammo yet. Pistol bullets. There we go. I thought I clicked on that before. Apparently not. But we need workbench or fabricator. We need ourselves some copper and some gunpowder. Again, got a decent amount of gunpowder from raiding ruins and getting it as loot drops. I assume the fabricator is going to be able to make us more of this. And while we've still got the gasoline, we may as well give that a try. No, looks like maybe it's just faster. I'm going to assume that it's something along those lines, but how many things does this chamber? We got 6 in there. Fantastic. Okay, so a 6-shooter now. I suppose we may as well try this out on something local. All right, it's nighttime. Let's give this Theo one between the eyes. Okay, 1200. Pretty emphatic. I like that. And if we hit R, we can reload it. So now we got 6 in the chamber again. It doesn't discard the others. That's good. That's good to know. But just because something is good in the grasslands does not mean it will be so good elsewhere against more dangerous, more hostile stuff. So I think a bit of a challenge is in order. I'm going to fly myself out to one of the other ruins that I've found. The miasma is currently affecting the swamp, so maybe we shouldn't go anywhere near that. But in the adjacent swamp biome, some of the ruins that I've seen are tagged with one of the banners. And so I am hoping that maybe we can find ourselves one of those that will be easy enough to breach. There are a few skeletons guarding it that we can we can try out our new weapons on, and hopefully we should have a pretty decent time in there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruins District. This is a collection of ruins in one of the swamp biomes, and it is pretty extensive. There's a buried ruin down there. There's a couple, there's like 5 or 6 of these ruins basically in a row. And I have been into one of them very, very briefly, but there was a lot of dino action in the area, and I got out of there pretty fast. But this one I don't think I've been into at all. Can I take out this tree? Is it possible for me to take this tree down? Nope, that tree does not exist. Very good. Okay, let me clear the area just in case the raptors decide to take pot shots at my pteranodon. Hi there. Receive spears. Get speared. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. The armor is actually blocking a fair bit of damage. I also kind of wanted to take a hit there just to see if we were going to take as much damage as we normally do, but it's looking good. It's looking good right now. Get out of here, you. Yes, 31 per hit. That's still pretty high. Not as high as it could be, though. So I reckon we'll get our way in here. These things are guarded by skeletons, and the skeletons, I have a feeling, will definitely be susceptible to pistol shot. I reckon if we take out the throwers at range with one of these, although I don't see any yet, so maybe they haven't spawned in. Well, we should take advantage of that, shouldn't we? Oh, an apprentice wand, fantastic! More magic stuff that we can investigate in the, I'm going to say the next episode. We can give that a try. Now, what else is down here? Now, these places I know for a fact have some stuff hidden behind here. And this is where you find the good stuff, my friends. This is where you find these chests, the 2-tier chests. They have tons of essence and stuff in, glass bottles so you can make potions. I want to stock up on this stuff. We are going to have ourselves one heck of a magic episode next time, folks. You can guarantee it. But it looks like we are getting a free ride through this ruin. I almost can't believe it. Here I was expecting to test out a ton of my weapons. And I guess we're just waltzing on through here. I like it. I'm going to try not to pick up too many of the jars and stuff, although we will be coming back for those. And I have a suspicion that when we come back, we are not going to get quite so lucky with these. Now, the wind is making this even more atmospheric, but I still don't see anything. This is bizarre. There's a proper labyrinth in the bottom of this, too. Is there anything underneath here? Nope, doesn't look like it. The damage numbers affect the scenery as well, so you can really take out some of this. This looks like some sort of boss room, right? I have a feeling there should be a boss here, but there isn't. Okay, well, I'm taking the stuff. A couple of grenades. That's what we get from this place? Okay. Well, that ain't bad. I'm more interested in the magic stuff right now, but I don't know. Maybe if we explore one of these other ruins, it's actually going to have the stuff in it, and we can really test our metal. Here we go. Here we go. What have you got? Chitin shoes. They've got springs in. Amazing. I want to try those out right now. I've seen spring shoes in the engrams, but I haven't actually had a chance to try them out yet. These will do just fine, and we can... Apparently you can charge up your jump, or is that with the just with the iron ones? Ah, there you go. Look at that. You hold it down, and you spring. Not bad, not bad. Hopefully they help me take full damage as well, because full damage in this game gets a little bit beastly. Oh, another chest. What have you got for us? More magic essence. Perfect. Let's take all of that. And let's skedaddle before anything decides to spawn, right? We got lucky, folks. We got super lucky. Ooh, what do you have in here? Oh, wow. Okay, this is the motherlode right here. Some swiftness potions, a scuba potion so we can go diving, and a power potion. Oh, yes. Oh, we need to be taking those. You know what this game could really use? I don't know if it has one or not. Is a kind of like a quick buff button like they have in Terraria, where you can just take all of the potions that you have in your inventory without having to wrangle them into your hotbar and eat them one at a time. I think that would be pretty useful. And it looks like the miasma has come back over the swamp, which is not going to be a huge problem. It just seems to affect your torpidity. If you get hit by like a Dilophosaurus or anything like that, it's gonna seriously take you down. But with the wind plus this, it is kind of gonna tank my frame rate. So I'm probably gonna cut the recording there, and we'll try and wait for some of this stuff to blow over. So, having looked into that some more, it turns out there's a bit of a bug with the most recent update as of the time of this recording, and the ruins aren't producing any kind of hostile creatures at all. Like, anytime you go into a ruin, I've tried it with the Coyote ruins as well, nothing actually spawns in there to stop you from progressing through there and just stealing all of the loot. And while this might seem like a golden opportunity to gear up to the average player, I personally kind of want to play the progression of this game. Like, there's a reason that the ruins are meant to be a bit of a challenge for the gear that you get, and so I'm not going to touch them until that issue gets resolved. I will check back in periodically to make sure that there's an update which fixes that, and hopefully it happens pretty soon, because I really want to go and explore some more of them and see what other gear I can get, especially if it involves getting blueprints. But right now, I think I'm probably just going to call it good and ride around on Maverick, collecting a few more bones and a few more bone pieces so that we can finish off this particular episode by figuring out our full iron bone armor set. How about that, folks? So that's that's the compromise we're going to come to. No more ruins raiding today, but I promise we will come back to it, hopefully even in the next episode, where I start figuring out magic stuff and the tiers of magic we can use right now. And hopefully we'll be able to raid some ruins like that and have a much better time and a bit more of a challenge. So I'm going to carry on mutilating these scorpions with a spear, and I will see you guys on the other side. Now, if this is not a metal album cover, I don't know what is. Look at this armor set. It's actually kind of difficult to right now because it's nighttime. Let me get to a place where there is some light, and we can show this off. But seriously, clad all in iron bone, standing shoulder to shoulder with a dire wolf. This is pretty metal, guys. I like it a lot. All right, let's take a quick look at this. Yeah, look at that, the full iron bone set. And right now we are rocking about 27 or something? 33, there we go, 33 armor. Not even carrying a shield, which would be smart, actually. And I kind of want to look into how shields are going to work. But yeah, this is a pretty cool armor set. I like it a lot. It doesn't do so well in the cold. Right now I think it's not doing so well in terms of insulation. The leather armor definitely wins out in that regard. Look at that. Hypothermal insulation, -1. Maybe it does better in the cold than it does in the hot. I can't remember exactly which one is which. But look at this. The castle is actually pretty dark right now, so it's a little difficult for you to see. Let me put my candle helmet back on. Maybe that will illuminate things a little bit more. It's a little bit less badass with the candle helmet. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of work on the central chamber here. The long carpet is finally finished, and I'm so happy with that, even though the dragon skin carpet is not exactly looking as advertised. And yes, I've tried pressing Q on it. It doesn't rotate the designs or anything. I have my throne. Well, I don't really have a throne right now because there aren't any chairs that are like 2 blocks wide, which feels really annoying when the doors are all like even numbers wide. I feel like I want a chair that matches that. Maybe 2 chairs, maybe like a king and queen style situation for me and the missus. But yeah, we have our direwolf stood up here for now, and I've been going through a few pteranodons. I have been going back to explore ruins and trying to get those bone pieces. My pteranodons got picked off in the desert whilst I was fighting dung beetles and scorpions and stuff. A couple of carnosaurs. Was it carnosaurs? I think the big kind of tan guys came out there and absolutely steamrolled a couple of my pteranodons, so that sucked. But I got myself some old jars from that last ruin, which look pretty fancy in here. They may be old, but they definitely fit the aesthetic. And also a couple of ice jars that I brought back from the ice ruin that I raided to get that shotgun. So yeah, we have ourselves, and the ice lamps as well. We have ourselves a decent little central throne room kind of thing going on here. I kind of want to maybe put in a couple of tables, but I'm holding off on that because the only table I can really craft right now, if we get a table in engrams, have a wood table like that. There's also iron tables and volcanic rock tables, which definitely sound a lot better than wood tables right now, especially considering the aesthetic we have going on right now, the death metal, the death metal armor with the giant candle on top of it. But yeah, if you go into the engrams, you'll find that there are also tables in the magic section that are made of flash rock, which I'm not even sure what that is. I've seen flash sand, but not flash rock. Sea crystal, cryolite, darkwood. Darkwood tables sound amazing in this place. And also, none of these tables really fit exactly what I want, except maybe I might look into the Magic Academy table once we have unlocked some of those. But I don't even know where to find those blueprints, so I'm going to have to go on a search once the ruins are kind of restored to accessibility with all of the skeletons and stuff to fight, that kind of thing. So I'm going to call it there. It's been a long episode. I think we've got a lot done. So tune in next time because I really want to go through some more of the magic stuff. So that will be worth sticking around for. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of PixARK. My name has been Pixlriffs. Leave a like on it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.